He's real bad. Jonathan. He's real bad. Bigger and better. He's a real man. 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 He's a real man.
And Mr. Jonathan welcomes you all. Blaxploitation Month begins with a bang. Is this still...
Somebody's getting banged. I think 12 people get banged in this movie.
So usually people like to do like death counts in movies. Today, for this episode, we're doing fuck counts.
It's fuck counts. It's a very sensual start to Blaxploitation History Month.
Are we still family friendly for this?
Always family
It's okay,
friendly.
so this is...
Well, after our tippy tap we did, that was a very family friendly tippy tap.
That was incredibly family friendly.
I can't... Well, our guest was pretty raunchy. I apologize for what she said.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is... we're trying to expand the horizons, you know. I want to do some movies that are a little off the beaten path.
We wanted to get some newer names into the fold.
Yes. John Daniels starred this one, who financed this movie. $50,000 it cost to make this movie.
I saw that, yeah.
So they call him the low-budget Rudy Ray Moore, which is pretty bad because Rudy Ray Moore is pretty low-budget.
Yeah.
He didn't do as many movies as Rudy Ray.
I guess I could see it just on the movie perspective. I don't know. If you would have told me that cold, I would have been like, oh, this guy does like weird Rudy Ray limerick type things.
Well, I don't know if he does that. He just makes movies.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Is like that's immediately what my mind goes to when I think Rudy Ray. Not so much.
Well,
like
he's a comedic genius. I see that.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Rudy Ray Morris.
Rudy Ray.
If you want to hear it, I have it right over my shoulder.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, let's do a fuck kick-ass movie. There's kick-ass in it. There's violence. It gets horror level violence near the end.
Yeah, this turns into a horror movie, which is fantastic. Like, I popped so fucking hard for the ending of this movie. I shrieked. I threw my chair out underneath me. I was just levitating. I was so enthralled by it.
But the one thing we got to talk about when we get in this movie is very progressive, especially for 1976.
Incredibly, yeah. I was like, oh boy, as soon as like the first characters were introduced. But then come to find out, they're used throughout it, and they're lovable, they're brave, they're awesome.
Well, you have the classic flamingly gay characters, Richard and Artie.
Mm-hmm.
White guy, black guy.
Mm-hmm.
And usually these characters would be, well, they are the cliche stereotype of what a gay character is, but usually they would be the butt of the jokes.
Yes.
You would just look down on them.
Yeah.
And because the only roles gay people had in the 70s are that you're either a crazy serial killer or you're like a flaming butt of the joke.
Unfortunate, yeah.
Not in this one.
Yeah.
Mr. Jonathan, the star, the black shampooer, totally respects these guys. Treats them with respect. Treats them like friends. Family even. He cares about these people.
I was going to say, they're like... I rarely go meet up with coworkers or anything. Mr. Jonathan knows them personally. He knows where they live.
Barbecues with them.
He Western style barbecues with them.
It's the only way I barbecue is Western style.
I haven't been to a Western barbecue. You'll have to help me out with that one.
It's gay and straight. Don't worry, Griff. Fit in.
It's gay. It's straight. There's a lot of nudity.
Yes, a lot of saggy boobs.
There's no grills in sight, by the way. There's no actual cooking. I love it. Oh, Murray, have you been keeping up? I'm going to go completely off topic here because you know what? Everybody else has done this bit this week, so I get to do this bit because it's our platform.
Bernie?
Are you keeping up on the stocks these days?
Oh, no. What do you got to tell me, Griff?
Oh, boy. So GME, GameStop stock, went through the roof. And I listen to so many of the CNBC, like the mass media talking heads. And
Is that going higher than Merman Industries? MMI?
No. We have to keep that one on the download because we don't want people to buy into it because, it's quiet. But I watch so many fucking, like, billionaires from the stock market go on and be like, these people, they spent their $600 stimulus checks on this? It's so wrong. They can't do that. It was like a fold of Ginties going out there flabbing their jabbles all over the place. It was so frustrating. And even my dearly beloved NPR was like, yeah, these GameStop investors, they don't know what they're doing and they need to stop it. And it's like, these fucking people know what they're doing.
Well,
they're fucking over hedge funds.
Don't, why don't we just bail them out like we do the fucking asshole Wall Street guys?
Yeah, exactly. Let's just bail out these guys. If these kids really did put themselves in harm,
GameStop is too big to fail.
It's too big. That's the other thing. And they're all like, they're trying to explain like we're idiots. Like, these kids don't understand that the model that GameStop was putting forth is failing. And it's like, we were the people who shopped there, you fucking idiots. We know it's failing. It's just amazing, the ignorance. And then, of course, you have the app they were using, Robinhood, that just shut down. It's just like a proxy to the market, but they shut down, and this is what everybody on the forum was using to buy the stocks. They shut it down for like a day so they couldn't buy anymore.
Many people don't know this is why the attack on the Capitol happened. Those proud Americans were pissed off about GameStop.
Yes. But they're already trying to do a hit piece and saying like, no, those were the Capitol rioters. They're just trying to fuck over Wall Street now. Do you remember back
is Antifa involved with this at all?
Of course they are.
Okay.
Antifa, QAnon, the Proud Boys, the Boogaloo Boy, any person that they can put into harm's way in this, they're just like, yeah, that's the Wall Street bet guys. That's them. But all these hedge funders, they've already drowned 2 hedge funders, which is kind of fascinating. But yeah, no, they will never touch Merman Industries. We're ironclad.
We're about to buy back all of it because we got our money back from the government. We're going to buy back all our stocks.
Yeah, we're just
going
to
private
we're going to buy up all of our own stocks, just like the big airlines do and everything.
Right.
We just buy all of our own shit back. We said we were going to give our employees, health care. I let them touch the Laserdisc sometimes,
right,
and that's enough. It's more than enough.
More than enough.
All right, black into black shampoo.
Black into black.
Black into black shampoo.
How about we just go straight to the trailer?
That sounds good.
So, Griff, can you feel the love for this trailer for Black Shampoo?
Meet Mr. Jonathan. Behind the wheel, he's got the feel. This stud is no dud. He's bad. He's mean. He's a loving machine. He's the height of fashion, the peak of passion. Sends gangsters crashing and women thrashing. Black Shampoo. He's got the touch they love so much.
You tell Mr. Jonathan that I left. If he won't do me, nobody will. Does Mr. Jonathan make house calls?
Hello, ladies. Artie taking good care of all of you?
Artie just didn't have the equipment you have.
He gives each pet a washing set. Men can't get him off their backs. Women can't get him out of their hair.
Jonathan,
Hello, Mr. Jonathan.
this is our new receptionist. You like her?
Wonderful, wonderful.
God, she'll never drown.
Well, I told you to watch who you rent it to, too, Danda. Hand me that thing. Hang him down. I'm going to give you the thrill of your lifetime.
Don't give him no sass or he'll kick your ass. A woman entices. A chainsaw slices. He's mad. He's mean. He's a killing machine. Let him give you a Black Shampoo. Black Shampoo.
A Graydon Clark production starring John Daniels and Tanya Boyd.
All right, welcome back.
Did you feel the trailer?
I hope you felt the trailer. I'm sure it soothed everyone's ears. I hope it wasn't too close to ASMR. We've already, we've done that. We don't want to get back into
People love it, though.
Overload.
People are just listening to the Octagon episode just to hear the ASMR part.
Yeah, I can see in the data we have. Everyone's just listening to the first minute and a half when we did all the ASMR stuff. And, whew, oh, boy.
Who knows? Who
Oh,
knew?
boy.
I didn't know.
Yeah. The other day I was searching OnlyFans, and there's a whole swath of people just listening to it and in front of other people. It's the weirdest thing.
We're not getting paid for that?
We're not getting paid. We're going to have to work on that.
Fuck you, OnlyFans.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure out who these people are and get our lawyer over there.
Speaking of a businessman, Mr. Jonathan.
Mr. Jonathan.
He's got the hottest salon in L.A.
Entrepreneur.
On the Sunset Strip.
He's right. He's got a great office right on the Sunset Strip.
Great, impeccably decorated.
What I really loved about his salon here is it's like the main part of the front, the salon, is about the size of a closet. It's tiny.
Yeah.
It's
Well, he
teeny
needed
tiny.
room for his fuck salon in the back.
But his office in the back, and then he's got his fucking shower. Oh, you gotta. Yeah.
He probably lives there. He does. I mean, hell, even back then, rent was probably, I'm sure, a lot. So, yeah, Mr. Jonathan, we start out with this first of all, I think we've pointed out on I'm sure every, year we point this out, but it needs to be pointed out again, Griff. Soundtracks to these movies are so amazing. And this one is no different. The song, Mr. Jonathan, He's a Real Man, great song. The one we opened with, amazing song.
Again, Marvel, learn something. Just make a fucking funky-ass song to explain your hero's backstory. That's all we want. That's all we want.
Exactly.
Deadpool 3, I'll watch it if they just...
You are really obsessed with
just
Deadpool
skip.
lately.
I keep seeing people talk about it. It annoys the shit out of me.
Deadpool, Wet Dreams, that's all Griff talks about. Someone they could combine the two. He'd be a happy man. So while he's, you're right. We're getting an origin right before our eyes because he's not only we're hearing it, we're seeing it.
Yeah,
he's very good at washing it. I've never saw him. He didn't cut hair once in his entire movie.
There's not even good pressure on his little water sprinkler thing there. It's like dribbling out of that. But this woman, he's just got such a grip with those hands. He's got these meaty, stubby little hands, and these women just go fucking nuts for it.
Beefy, muscular guy.
He's thick. He's got the sausage fingers, and they're into it. And so
he's got skin tight white not jumpsuit. It's like a white suit.
Yeah, it's like a white kind of I don't know romper. No, it's not a romper.
It looks like he works. He's like an ice cream man. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, and it's this style of pantaloons where it doesn't go like below the waist kind of thing, just over your butt. It goes like up to your belly button. So it's a Jean-Claude cut, if you will. You know?
Yeah. There's a scene where she undoes his zipper and she says, "It's so big." I think she's talking about the zipper. I don't think she's talking about his dick.
I think that's it.
Mr. Jonathan, it's so big.
The camera frame can't even get the whole zipper in frame. You know,
they had to follow it, pan down.
Yeah, and it was incredible. But her just loving this hair washing. She's wearing like a loose blue dress robe thing. I don't know what it was, and
it's like a smock. I don't know.
She's got all of her jewelry on. Her boob is slipping out. Very tasteful. Very tasteful. Just slipping out as she's just grinding on that fucking chair, and she's got an elbow around his pelvic region. We don't know if she's getting donger or not, but she's just like rubbing her elbow on him and losing her goddamn mind.
He's a real man,
and
as the song told us.
And finally, he's like, "All right, your hair's washed." And she gets up and starts that mile-long zipper trek all the way down until she can pop that dong
Foley
out.
artist earned his pay that day because he had to use 12 zippers and time them all at once. So he just commences to a banging her because he's got a little couch back there.
Yeah, he's got everything back here.
Everything you need.
Wonderful. Yeah, he's got
wonderful. And so he's just fucking her.
Yeah.
And we go outside to where the business happens.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this is some kind of... That's the front for the business is actually haircutting.
Yeah.
The real money is banging white broads.
Here's the other thing I appreciate about this movie. It's pro-prostitution.
Is it?
What do you think Mr. Jonathan's doing?
He's getting a gigolo.
He's getting paid to fuck these women.
And cut their hair.
in a safe. He didn't cut hair. He what? Even when he shows
He lets Artie and Richard cut the hair. Okay?
Yeah, but he's paying all the bills with his fuck money, Murray. He's a prostitute.
He's a gigolo.
It's no problem with that, but I'm saying it's pro-prostitution. Bring him into a safe space.
He's probably the only person who gets a tip because we learn Artie did not. He's perfectly coiffed this woman's hair.
Yeah.
And she's like, thank you. Totally, because he's a little guy, okay, Artie.
Yeah.
And she pinches his cheek, like belittles him.
What the fuck was this?
And it's like, look, honey, you better give me a tip. And she's like, here's your tip. Don't expect a tip. And then she walks out.
Artie turns his back and she pinches his butt.
Yeah, it's very demeaning.
Yeah, what the fuck was this? Come on, ladies, hands off. No means no.
But it's all there. It's like the girl. It's all girls, and the guys are the girls too. Everyone's they're giggling, they're having fun.
Yeah.
For some reason, there's a porn mag out there, and
What was with that?
and Artie and Richard, they're disgusted, not by the porn, but by the hairstyle of the women in the porn.
One of the girls waiting gets up and she's like, "Look at this girl! Or what? Look at she's got some good tits on her."
Did she bring this in? Was this there?
Yeah,
Is this reading material?
Was she like she found this and had to show it off to everybody?
Maybe she was like, I want this haircut, and then Artie's like, "Ew, honey."
Maybe that's a good point. That might have been what happened.
That's usually how women look, for hairstyles. They look through hardcore porn. They don't look through like fashion magazines.
Does 70s have a lot of hardcore porn mags?
Hustler, yeah.
That was hardcore.
Hustlers, hardcore, yeah.
I don't know.
You couldn't have fucking until I remember this distinctly because my buddy was working in an adult bookstore in the late 90s is when you were allowed to show people fucking in a magazine. Before it was like chick like hold a dick or something.
Yeah,
that kind of shit.
Okay.
They went crazy because I remember another big thing. Panos was like pee obsessed. Like, there's women peeing in there. It's like, who fucking wants to see that?
Really?
Yes. It was all over the place.
I'm learning a lot about the old magazines.
Well, my buddy, that was his business for a couple years. So,
I've only seen the Playboys, and I remember I was helping someone clean out an attic and found like 70s Playboys in there, and so I just went over to my friend's house, knocked on his window, and dumped a bunch of them in his window.
Well, yeah, Playboy was the classy one.
Yeah.
Panos was the medium, in between one. I like that one. And then Hustler was like, ugh. It was like, that was like gynecological exam.
And when we say classy, we of course mean Chuck Mangione classy.
Yeah.
That's the kind of classy Playboy is.
Go see our Dippy Tap.
Yeah. So,
getting back to it.
So we know that Mr. Jonathan's in the back fucking away at Miss Cthulhu or something.
Carruthers.
And Mrs. Simpson comes in.
Not Marge, just another Mrs.
Yeah, and she's barely wearing like clothes. Like
Well,
it's
she's
very
excited.
loose and it's like a dress and it's coming way up her crotch there.
She's dressed to fuck.
Yeah, really. Got to make it easy. She wants to also kind of have like some little eye tease for Mr. Jonathan while she's getting her hair rinsed.
So she meets Brenda, our secretary, who's working there for 3 days and basically runs the place. And so she's like, I'm here for my appointment with Mr. Jonathan. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. He's with a client right now. He can't come. And she's like, really? Who? Well, Mr. Carruthers. Miss Carruthers? She's the one who told me about Mr. Jonathan.
Oh, well, you can say hi to her when she comes out.
And, of course, she's, like, embarrassed because it's her first time fucking a dude for money. So she's like, I send them to my place. This is how, like, because these are all rich white bitches. Okay, This is like Beverly Hills.
These are Karens,
right?
We don't know any of their first names.
When they ever see a black man, they push 9-1, and then it's over that one.
Yeah.
But when they want to fuck, where do they go? They go to black guys. So it's a very
again, they're coming to a safe place to fuck a man.
Yes. So she's like basically a whore on the down low.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, just send him over to my place. Come on, like, for fuck's sake. This guy's a businessman. Like, send him over to my place.
Yeah. I don't know if you brought it up. When they fucking squawk box back to Mr. Jonathan, you just hear the moaning. The moaning was so sad. Like, I felt sad. I was so cringy.
Well, we learned that Mr. Jonathan is a sad character. Like, fucking women, Griff, apparently is not all it's cracked up to be. I mean, it's tough work.
I'll just go ahead and notch this down now. He's already had one fuck. We don't even know what time of day it is. I have to assume it's early in the morning because based on my timing of this movie, they close shop around 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, crack of noon, we're done. Close up, everybody go home.
Shuts up whenever he wants to. I mean, it's just like... Because he can trust Artie and Richard to do the business.
But here's the thing: when he comes back in a minute, they're gone. It's closed up. But it's like in the middle of the day. Anyways, okay. So Sally, not Sally, Miss Carruthers, she's like, Mrs. Simpson. God, all these names. I'm getting so confused. She's like, okay, you have my name and address. You send them to my place, and I'll hear none of. I'll complain to the manager next time if you don't.
And she's like, whatever you say, ma'am. And then just as she walks out the door, our boy is pulling up that zipper.
Yep.
And all the ladies are like, Mr. John, they're all excited. Like, ladies, thank you.
See, I want to point out, before he walks out into the main floor, Sally is like, or he apologized to Sally, I'm sorry for all the interruptions. And she giggles like, what interruptions? Again, another clue that he is not into the sex at all.
He's checked out mentally.
He is just completely checked out because
he's just a walking dick.
He's hearing everything else. He probably heard somebody come in the door. He probably heard Artie make a joke, and he's like, I want to be out there.
That's the thing. We're learning stuff. We think that's what a life. Like, we think that's the life we want to have, where we're getting paid to fuck hot women, and it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, no, definitely. Through the teen years, I was always like, oh, you gotta fuck. And I'm learning through Mr. Jonathan that it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Right.
It's a lot of work, and you know,
and he wants maybe he wants some intimacy. He wants like a connection.
Clearly, huge motivation in this movie is he wants a connection.
Right. So he walks up to Brenda, and he's like, "What was going on there?" She's like, "Oh, Mrs. Simpson, she wants you to come over." He's like, "Give me your specs."
Yep.
How she look?
How old would you say she is? And Brenda's like 30, I think.
She can't judge age. I thought she was like 50.
You thought 50?
She didn't look good.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sorry. Oh, I'm supposed to think every woman's attractive all of a
No,
sudden?
I just didn't think she looked
She
like.
looks 50.
I thought she looked like she could have been 30, especially in the 70s times when everybody looked 10 years older. I didn't think she looked that much older.
I don't know.
I think when she got out into her pool wear, she looked a lot older.
Okay, you can have her.
I'll give you
so he's just like, not bad. Because he always repeats himself. He goes, not bad.
Yeah.
Man of few words, man of many inches. And so he's just like, all right, I guess I'll fucking, get ready to go fuck her at her place. And just as he's about to, the bad guy crew of Judd Apatow, Questlove, and Mr. Bean show up. And so Judd Apatow, like in real life, he's the leader.
Of course.
And he leaves. And then he goes up to Brenda. So Mr. Jonathan leaves to fuck Miss Simpson.
Yep, he takes the only thing he needs to do any kind of hairdressing, a blow dryer.
No scissors.
Nothing to do with hair, nothing to shampoo, none of that.
It's just a prop.
Just a prop.
And Judd goes up to Brenda, and we learn that, like, she apparently was a kept woman of this guy's boss.
Yeah.
Mr. Wilson. And maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I swear this is what happened. She's like, okay, I'll go back to Mr. Wilson. And then Judd Apatow's like, who?
No, you're 100% right. I was very confused by that. I was like, wait.
He didn't know his own boss's name.
Is this a who's on first base situation?
I guess he's so used to calling him this boss.
Maybe, yeah.
Yet he forgot his name.
Maybe he's on a first name basis.
Maybe.
Okay.
So first she's like, because obviously it was a really scary situation. This guy's a mobster.
Yeah.
And
they got Questlove, and also they have little, I don't remember what you call him, Mr. Bean.
I just was looking for a little guy. He doesn't really look like Mr. Bean. That's a little white guy, so I said Mr. Bean. I don't know. He wears a little fucking, he's a chauffeur, so he wears a little chauffeur cap.
Yeah. But so they're kind of like mean-mung at everybody, and Artie tries to step up and like, hey, you guys, you can't be fucking around in here. This is for patrons, and you don't look like
Artie is very protective of Mr. Jonathan and his business.
He's incredibly protective, and you know what? Artie gets shit for his bravery. I think it was Questlove, probably. He just picks him up like he's a baby and holds him for a minute, and then just like lightly drops him on the ground. And Artie is.
They didn't have a budget for stunt double, Griff, so they had to really throw this guy.
Artie is selling the fuck out of this stuff.
Oh, and then they say, you bastard person. And Richard's like slapping at him, and they're pushing him away.
But Artie, God damn, Judd Apatow. God, you made these fucking, I don't like these names at all. I called him Schmuck, and I loved it.
Well, then go call him Schmuck. Like you give a fuck. You're going to forget the name anyway.
Probably. It's going to be the best part. So Schmuck's like, all right, I'll leave because Brenda has promised to call Mr. Wilson that
By the way,
night.
his name's Maddox. That's his character's name.
His name was Maddox,
Yeah.
okay? Maybe I'll remember Maddox. So, Maddox,
he doesn't even look like Judd Apatow. He's just a guy with a beard. So I
Yeah.
said Judd Apatow. You're a balding guy with a beard. Judd Apatow. That's every Judd Apatow looks like that to me.
So Brenda has convinced them that she'll call, and that's good enough. That's good enough for him. So he's like, oh, yeah, I'll get the fuck out of here. No big deal. And I love this. Every scene introduces with a new funk song or new little upbeat rhythm.
Can you feel the love?
That's romantic funk.
Oh, that's
all right.
right.
This is lively funk.
This is like soulless, dead in the eyes fucking.
This
music.
this is John just like at his scariest.
He just goes to his happy place in his head.
Yeah. He was always wearing mirrored shades for a reason. Because, like, don't look into my eyes because there's nothing there.
So
Just
he
shell of
shows
a
up.
man.
He tells he's ready for some hair drying, apparently.
Yep.
He's got his blow dryer. And he's immediately accosted by these skanky-ass fucking
They're-
girls.
They're gross. They're so gross.
They're wearing bikinis. And like, are you Mr. Jonathan? Are you coming here for my mom's haircut? So they're the daughters of Mrs. Simpson.
Yeah.
And we learned that Mrs. Simpson, she gets around too. This is her fifth husband she's on.
Yup.
They're not even sure if they're related, these girls. That's how fucked up the family dynamics
It's
are.
so gross because they meet him at the front door, and he's just got his blow dryer, and they are fucking filleting it and shit. They're touching it, grinding on
fondling
it.
fucking going up and down with a zipper.
It was so fucking weird. And they're just like, is it something Mr. Johnson or Mr. Johnson something? I don't even know what the fuck that was supposed to mean.
Well, what it means is your first name Jonathan or your last name Jonathan.
Oh, right. I'm an
You
idiot.
said Johnson.
I said Johnson.
Yeah.
It's Jonathan.
Well, you're obsessed with his Johnson, much like the girls are.
Oh. Did you notice that Brenda's last name was St. John?
Okay.
So if she married... Wait, no. Never mind. I'm an idiot.
She could be Brenda St. Jonathan.
That's... Yeah. Thank you.
So they're just fondling him, just treating him like a piece of meat. Come on, ladies. He's a man.
Yeah. And he is just kind of like, whatever about it. He's like, can you get your mama? I just really want to get this hair done.
Yeah, I got shit to do later.
Yeah.
And they're just like, we like to fuck together. It's just the greasiest, grimiest 70s talk going on
Oh, yeah.
here.
They take him out back to the pool side, and they sit him down in that beautiful Adirondack chair, and they're just like, just take a breather. Looks like you're got a bead of sweat, so let's go ahead and get that shirt off of you. And they're grabbing up and down on that zipper. And
While that's going on, Mrs. Simpson's like topless watching.
yes, topless, just a choker on.
She
watching.
heard, like, I guess the doorbell rings, and she's running out expecting to fuck him herself, and then her fucking nasty-ass daughters got ahead of her.
Man, she's like, I can't even wait for him to touch my hair. I'm just going to be nude now. Just kidding.
But when she sees her trifling daughter, she puts her, like, moo-moo on or something.
Yeah, she put on some kind of, like, summer dress.
And the girls, they go, hey, like, see us naked? So they get naked, and that's enough for Mom. She's like, that's my dick. I paid for it. So she runs out with a belt and starts whipping the shit. The girls run into the pool to save themselves. Mr. Jonathan's like, what the fuck have I gotten into?
He had accepted that they were going to bang him, just put his hands behind his head and was like, you guys, you're,
Do whatever you got to do.
you're spry kids. Do all the work, you know? So, yeah, it comes out, beats them. They jump into the water. They're just spewing lines. I have no idea what correlation they have to this movie.
It was just filth.
Because they're just like, Mom can't swim. Like, why was that line in
Because
there?
Mom can't get them. They're like teasing their mom.
Oh, they're explaining why. Because
Yeah.
we know she's too distracted. Like, she's been in a dick fog all day because of this
Well,
man.
she's about to go deep into the fog because she's just like, she mounts Mr. Jonathan right in front of her kids. She just pulls the dress up, gets on top of him.
Yeah, she bends over in front of him, ass in his face, and just starts wiggling that dress up and setting that puss right down on his. Oh boy,
And then we
boy.
just fade out with some greasy funk.
And Mom's even saying these kids can learn a thing or two from their old mom. It's fucking weird. Fucking weird.
Yeah. No.
All right. Anyways, so John's getting back to the shop. This is where the timeline gets incredibly confusing. How long was he fucking Mrs. Simpson?
At least an hour.
Were the girls? Did they end up getting involved too? Did they have
hope not.
Did they have like a barbecue afterwards? Maybe an Eastern barbecue. It's a little shorter on the time. All I know is he gets back to the shop. Lights are completely off. Brenda's sitting there in the dark.
Doing
no
the
one,
books. Yeah.
no one's there.
Yeah.
She had already done the books, and she's got some bad news for Mr. Jonathan.
Yeah, she's like, I got to quit because my old boss, he came back. He said, I got to go back with him. He's a mobster. He's mobbed up, I think. Because you know how someone say it's very progressive about this movie? I don't think one N-bomb was dropped this entire movie.
Nope.
Which you hear a million of them in blaxploitation movies.
The old gay slur, starting with the F, that got used a lot. But yeah, that was about it.
And so, she's just like, I got to go. He's like, fuck that. Because this is the first woman he's ever met that didn't want to fuck him immediately. So he has a respect for her. He has like, wow, maybe she'll like learn to love me for my mind.
Yeah.
And my poetry and all this shit. You know,
maybe he's waiting for somebody to ask him to say something. You know, everyone shut up and fuck me. Maybe he's waiting for that woman to say, hey, I want to hear about your day.
Right. And isn't that what we all want, basically?
I think so.
So, I mean, everyone has a little bit of Mr. Jonathan inside of them. At least the women do. And so, yeah, he's like, fuck that. I'm taking you to Vinny's. I'm going to get you pastrami and nacho cheese.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk over this shit. We're going to work it out.
We're going to work it out. Because Brenda was resistant to doing anything with him because she was like, I don't want Mr. Wilson to be going after you. I gotta save you. That's why I got to get out of here. He's like, no, Vinny's. And then snaps his finger, Fawn style, and some smooth soul starts
Can
in.
you feel the love?
And we got our first montage of the movie. We're clinging.
First, yeah, they're like got their hands like entwined, like feeding each other a Vinny's pastrami.
Oh, and they're just eating it over their open beer mugs, so it's like drippings are falling into the beer. Like
that's great, though.
I can't
Vinny
do that.
drips are fucking great.
They are, but I'll have it in like a
I'm
milkshake.
just worried about Mr. Jonathan because he's wearing all white, and like I told you,
Oh,
Vinny's heaven going down, hell coming out. So I'm worried about Mr. Jonathan. That's how badass Mr. Jonathan is. I'll eat Vinny's and wear white.
Oh, that explains why he's squatting on the rocks later on. Is he's trying to compress the urge.
Apparently he's on a budget because he takes her to the fucking park.
What? No, come on. That's a good thing to do. And you're in fucking California. It's the middle of the day, I think. We're lost in time and space. Because the sun's clearly out. They're wearing the same
they get one of
clothes.
those. They're on a pedal boat. Is that what they call them?
Yeah, pedal boat.
And they're throwing pastrami to the swans.
Well, yeah, they took some of the fresh loaves that were there as well, and
Jonathan, like you said, Jonathan cops a squat on a waterfall. Perfect place to take a shit. So, yeah, which I'll be posting then on our Facebook.
Yeah, so
on our Facebook, our Twitter.
If you're confused about it, you can just look for it.
But he looks great doing it. He's totally posing. It looks natural.
Yeah, everything about this date has gone so fucking well. We know it. You know where it's gonna go. So we cut away and we go over to our main villain. We get to see our first.
But that's the
glimpse
great
of
part,
him.
Griff. We don't know where. We assume they're gonna be fucking, but no. This is a fucking real, like, emotional thing they got going on. They connected,
right?
On an emotional level, Griff, not a sexual level.
They did. We saw the montage, and when you see
Mr. Jonathan probably never felt these. He hasn't felt them in years.
Exactly. But we get to the end of the montage, and then we don't follow them anymore. We just go over to Mr. Wilson. So it's like, my immediate conclusion was 2 + 2 = 4. They're fucking on all fours.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they might be hugging or cuddling or something.
Oh, by a fire or something.
Yeah.
Just very innocent.
No, that's what he's looking for. He's looking for intimacy.
I agree. I didn't it helped, like, talking to you about it right here made me realize who Mr. Johnson is.
I don't know who Mr.
Jonathan.
Johnson is.
You fucking...
Magic Johnson?
I can't even get the main character right, and I'm trying to, like, have
even
three
though it's
different...
repeated 5 million times throughout the movie.
Mr. Wilson, what's he up to?
Well, I don't know because his business is so shady. I have no idea what it is. I just know it's illegal.
He's just got a book with
the shipment coming.
Oh my God! Now I recognize it. He had GME in his notebook there next to NOK, Nokia, AMC. He foretold the short squeeze today of 2020.
Oh, that's what he was doing. I had no idea. I knew he was up to something illegal. They never really say.
No,
he's like, "Where's my stuff?" He's talking to a guy.
Yeah, where's my things? Yeah, I know you know. Okay. All right. Love you. Bye.
And when he gets off, Judd shows up. He's like, "Hey, I found Brenda." He's like, "All right. Well, you go get her for me."
Well,
While you're at it, he's like, because he's like, yeah, he's at this Mr. Jonathan guy. He's got a big dick, I hear. And he's like, what? Goddamn black guy and his black gift. Well, I'll show him. Go over there and trash that beautifully decorated salon.
Yeah. Boss, you told us not to do any harm to the salon. Well, no, I'm telling you to do harm to the salon. Like, what's the problem here? Go. Don't make me do it. All right.
So the goon crew go to the salon, and they have a hijinks. It's a very whimsical way.
It is a Looney Tunes background music playing, and we get...
It's like circus music.
Yeah, we get little Mr. Bean. He's having the time of his fucking life. He's like drop kicking shit. He's like throwing chairs over.
They couldn't even destroy shit properly. It was like he's like Questlove. He tries to hit like a swinging like lamp and can't even do that.
Yeah, it is so awkward. Most of the time he was just standing around too. He's just like watching Mr. Bean do it.
Judge just reading the next Seth Rogen script. So he's just sitting down there, and they're awkwardly, like you said, like destroying the like breaking mirrors. And then there's like I don't know what was it, a shelf, an art piece. I don't know. It was this like very heavy
that cement structure. I was like, what is this? And little Mr. Bean can't push it over. So Questlove cracks his knuckles and takes a step at it, tries to take a swing at it. And he can't get it to move anywhere. So they're just like, hey, fuck this place. Mr. Bean throws a rock through or something through a mirror, and then they're like, yeah, fuck this place. And they don't even go into the back to fuck up Mr. Jonathan.
I don't think they know that this wasn't it kind of a secret kind of thing, like a secret door.
I did see a payphone.
So
Jose Cuervo was probably there guarding it.
So they walk out. As they walk out, Judd does knock over a shelf.
Yeah,
and they walk out. So job done.
Yep. So we're coming back again. How much time has elapsed? How long was their date? Who the fuck knows?
Mr. Jonathan is running because he's got to take a shit. He's like, that Pastrami's hitting him hard.
Yeah, you wait out in the car for a little while. I'm going to go freshen up in my private bathroom.
So bad you take a shower.
Oh, my God. Oh, that explains the shower.
Right.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
you didn't
God.
make it in time. He's like running. He's like, whoa. And then
man.
You hear some sound effects. Brenda's like waiting outside. What's going on? Don't worry. All right, I'm fine. You can go.
But they do walk in and they find the whole shop wrecked. And Brenda's just like, it's all my fault. And she storms off. And, Mr. Jonathan is just letting out fuck word after fuck word. And again, it's because he has to shit. I thought he was frustration over, like, he lost this woman he was starting to grow really close to. But it's probably more the Vinnies and more the shop. He fucked up. Who eats Vinnies on the first date? In the middle of the afternoon.
In a white suit. That's how badass Mr. Jonathan is. He thought he could. Even Mr. Jonathan can't do it.
He
Let that be a lesson to you guys out there. Don't take a woman to Vinny's on the first day. I mean, even John DeHart waited for the fifth day.
He did.
There's people listening go, what the fuck is this Vinny shit they keep going on about? So she walks out and immediately comes back.
Well, here's the thing. She waits in her car, and at one point, I'm serious, I watched this too hard, and I was trying to notice what day it was because I'm very, very artistic about my days. And by artistic, I mean autistic. And at one point, the sun goes down, but then she gets up and the sun goes back up because she's like in her car and it's completely dark now. But she's
was
parked
there all
on the
night.
street.
She was just thinking.
Yeah,
he was showering all night. That's how bad it was.
That shit got him. He had too much fiber and he was shitting all day. Real colon cleaner. But yeah, she eventually does come back in hours, days later, and
Amelia gets naked.
She walks in and we get this. Okay, this movie is what, maybe an hour 25.
Hour 25.
And a lot of that is filler.
Yeah.
So this scene, the montage, yeah, okay, we'll give that a pass. But this scene, she takes off she had just like a scarf. Let's call it a scarf.
Right.
She takes that off, and then the camera zooms in on her hand as it drops.
Right. That's
the camera follows that to the ground, and it just looks at it for a while, and then it goes back to her without a scarf on, and she takes off her sweater.
Takes out an earring.
Yep.
Puts it down. Then the other one. then the necklace.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's a very slow strip tease.
Very slow for no one. Well, for us, I guess.
For
yeah,
us,
for us.
the per viewer.
I like that after she took her dress off, she stepped in front of it was like that hair thing that they dropped down or whatever. But I thought it was going to be like a lens, so it made her ass look bigger or something. It didn't. It was just a normal piece of plastic. Okay. I don't know. I just thought they were doing that. So she's completely
in the nude, and she walks back there. She sees him scrubbing furiously on his ass to get that shit off.
Oh, man. And
she's
Murray,
like, need any help?
I like this. Nice, peaceful, psychedelic music is playing.
They're feeling the love.
Yeah.
And and this is the thing, if he's finally, it's like a virgin being touched for the very first time.
Oh.
This is what that song was about.
Oh, okay.
Because now he's like falling in love all over again.
Okay, I get it. Madonna's writers were a big fan of this movie.
Who wasn't, man?
It makes
and
sense.
so he just starts making sweet, sweet psychedelic love to her. And I love the fade outs. We didn't talk about those where it turns like a negative. Like
yes, we did not talk about that. Was a very interesting touch for a first time filmmaker.
Right.
Like, wow, yeah, I liked it. It was a good transition, and we transition into the next day. I'm guessing morning, and Richie and Artie are showing back up. And they find, the place fucked up.
Artie, of course, has a neck brace from that body slam he took earlier. I know he has a neck brace. And because he's stylish, he's got a little cravat, a little scarf around the...
10 out of 10. And the fact that
Look like Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Every fucking time... Good God. Every time you see him in a new scene, he's got a different little scarf on.
Right, he's got style.
I fucking love it.
And they're fucking furious. Like, they have more emotions. They don't care about this business more than Mr. Jonathan does.
Well, they work in the front.
Right, yeah.
Jonathan's shit didn't get fucked up.
Well, it did, but he did it to himself. So he ain't never wearing that white suit again, which is why you never see it again. He puts on a different one later.
This is true.
So didn't Brenda take off?
Brenda had taken off, yes.
And so he wakes up alone, and he's like, oh, my God, I just found the woman of my dreams. I found love again for the first time. What's happening?
Yeah, he runs out. Richard and Artie are all worried about the shop, and he's like, where's Brenda? And they're like, she hasn't come in yet. Did you sleep here all night? It's like, yes, he lives here, I think. I mean, of course he slept here all night. Yeah. But maybe I think what they were going for is, didn't you hear somebody break in and fucking destroy everything?
I don't know, but he's just like, look, these are all material goods. These can be replaced. Brenda can't be replaced.
Yeah.
And they're like, and they smile at each other. He's found love. Because they want Mr. Jonathan to find love. Because are they together? I don't know. Richard and Artie?
Oh no, I don't think so. I think they're just really, they're just great colleagues, good friends. I like this scene though, because then we see Richard come out and he's like, I gotta find somebody. Or Richard, Mr. Jonathan. He comes out and he's like, I gotta find somebody. And I know when I'm looking for something, when I feel detective-y, I put on my safari gear.
Well, if you're on the hunt.
Yeah, you got to go on the hunt.
Wear?
He
puts on his safari suit, hits Vinny's first. He's like, no woman can resist Vinny. So he goes to Vinny's, and he's like, have you seen her? No, sorry.
Oh, yeah, we got that moody funk playing in the background. He's literally just stopping at people on the crosswalk, waiting for their light to turn, ask him, hey, have you seen my new secretary? And everybody in town is just like, oh, yeah, your new secretary. No, I haven't seen her.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, told Vinny a quick joke, Even he has time to tell Vinny a joke. Everybody has time to tell Vinny a joke.
That's a good joke. So he heads back to the shop. Where else is he going to go?
Yep.
He doesn't know where Mr. Wilson lives, I think. I don't know.
I don't think Mr. Wilson's on his radar.
So Judd's been tailing him for some reason. I don't know why. They got Brenda back, so...
Yeah,
because that's where Brenda goes, people, if you don't know. She went back to Mr. Wilson. She's like, I love this man. I don't want him to get killed.
He wanted to... he didn't want to have somebody upset. Mr. Wilson. He sends Schmuck and crew back because he's like, I want to smooth this over. They wrecked up his shop and everything. He's like, I don't want this guy coming back and beating my ass or anything. So let's just smooth everything over. And so they send Schmuck over.
He just believes he can buy his way out of everything.
Exactly. Yeah. He's one of these hedge fund idiots who, is going on CNBC telling us that we have to stop this for us little people's safety.
So they're like, hey, we got Brenda, but we're willing to pay him off. Mr. Wilson wants to talk to him. Tell Mr. Jonathan.
Yeah.
come see us at wherever he's at.
Of course, Artie and Richard are freaking the fuck out. They're like...
Furious.
Yeah, because he's in a fucking neck brace. He nearly killed him.
Right.
That drop was like from 8 feet up. I mean, like 3 feet, but whatever.
For him, it was like 8 feet because he's like 5 feet tall.
That's a good point.
So yeah, so
they want to take John in their car, and he's like, no, I'll drive my car. I'll follow you guys.
Right.
And we slowly go over there, and oh boy, I think we open up with Mr. Wilson. He's just sitting. I liked his poolside gear though.
I didn't see it.
I mean, you did. You just don't remember it.
Well,
it's wonderful. Shorts,
wonderful.
tucked in, button-up shirt. It's just.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking.
Yeah,
about. I thought you were talking about what around him.
No.
Yes, he did have a nice outfit, it was like short outfit.
Yeah.
And Brenda's looking hot in her bikini. She's just being like the kept woman that she is.
Yeah.
Pool. Took me back to Starsky and Hutch.
She's got like a wig on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because before she
Well, we don't know. She could have had her hair blown out. We don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Jonathan is like obsessed with hair, and he likes more natural hairstyles. So like before he was like playing a game with Brenda before they even went on their date. He's like, "Do you like that hairstyle?" And she's like, "It's not really me." And it was like this hairstyle that she has now. It came right back around, Murray.
Wow, I did not pick up
layers.
on that.
Yeah, you didn't notice that. Okay.
Oh. So so Mr. Wilson, he's used to just telling people what to do and like getting away with it, man. He's just like, "Look, I'm going to pay you off. You're going to shut your fucking pretty little mouth, and you're going to move on." And Mr. Jonathan's like, "I just want to know what's going on with Brenda." Brenda shows up.
Yep.
She's got that shitty hairstyle that he hates.
Yep.
And she's like, she could tell her heart's breaking, but she's like, she wants to save him. She doesn't want him to die. She's seen the shit Mr. Wilson's gotten up to. He's murdered people.
Girl sounds like she's on something too. She's just like a drone.
She's
right
on
now.
some Somas, yeah.
Yeah.
She's slipping away in Somerville.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I have no interest in you, Mr. Jonathan.
Yeah.
You just need to fuck off. I'm here. This is where I belong.
They're no longer on a first name basis. They just had the best date of their lives, and she's.
Well, we don't know what his first name is.
We don't, but she does.
Wow.
That's the thing.
That's how he opened. He opened up that much.
Yeah.
He didn't even tell those sluts that he was fucking earlier what it was.
Well, yeah, they're sluts. He doesn't even recognize. He doesn't see their faces. He doesn't hear their moans. He doesn't feel a thing.
So you can just see his heart break. It's just like he's like, well, yeah, that hairstyle fucking sucks. Fuck your money. I'm out of here.
Yep.
He leaves, and then Judd and the crew, they're like, hey, motherfucker, what do you think you're doing?
Well, he gets back to his car. You know, Questlove was just escorting him back over with Schmuck. And little Mr. Bean's waiting by his car, and he starts fucking giving him shit. Oh, before he walks off, though, we got to mention the walk-off that Mr. Wilson has, because he takes Brenda and walks, and he cups her butt, and then, like a bowling ball, 3 fingers deep. It was weird. I was like, that actress had to be feeling uncomfortable with that scene.
He was grabbing some cakes.
He was grabbing a lot more than cakes. But yeah, back at his car, John is getting back to his car. Mr. Bean, of course, the little runt, like a chihuahua, is stepping up to this guy who's got like 80 pounds on him and maybe a few inches as well. And, yeah, he's just like, I understand them black pussies suck your fuck like wild animals.
Oh, that was just a string of words put together. I don't know what that means.
I have no idea.
But it's enough to fucking piss off Jonathan. So he just whack right in the jaw.
Yeah, he fucking cross punches him and
then
rape.
fucking kicks Questlove in the nuts.
Yep. And Schmuck pulls out his gun. He's like, all right. You know what? We deserve that. Go ahead and get in your car and take off. And Mr. Jonathan just steps up to Questlove. He's like, hey, you fuck up my shop one more time, man. You better be looking over your shoulder.
He's like, I'll fuck that hair up.
I'm coming for you. I'll fuck that hair up. He's like, that is a good hairdo,
yeah,
but I'll fuck you
he had
up.
a beautiful fro.
Yeah, he
He's
did.
like, not my fro. He's like, yeah, your fro. So he jumps in his car, drives like a mile away, pulls over. He's just raging inside. He's like, I lost the love of my life.
This is you. Okay. Murray, I put in the musical cues for a reason here because as he's driving, we switch music several times to kind of accentuate his moods as we're going through.
The kind of the roller coaster of emotions he's going through?
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're going through this very white neighborhood, big houses. I mean, he's around the block from Mr. Wilson's at this point. Mr. Wilson.
Dennis the Menace shows up.
Yep. So we go into some upbeat funk as he's leaving because he's angry. He's like, oh, I'm going to get some shit done. But then he looks across the lane and he sees like a house there that he recognizes apparently, and then the moody funk starts up, and this is all within like 20 seconds. Upbeat funk, moody funk, and he goes into his dash and pulls out a little notebook.
I don't know what that was. Yeah,
I have no idea.
Like a match, fucking.
Right. And apparently it was an address or something that he needed to confirm. But he just drives on, and then we get some smooth funk playing. And we get a cut of a woman giggling in her window holding on to a dog.
Yeah. A little like Yorkie.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on here? Are people just like the ice cream man? They just look out the window.
He was dressed like the ice cream man earlier.
Yeah, he was. They just look out the window waiting to see if Mr.
I love
Johnson
those
drives
gigantic
by.
platform shoes he had on.
Those
too.
platform shoes, holy shit, dude. Oh, my God.
He had like 5-inch heels.
When those twins were trying to get down on him, I was just like, I'm just going to look at his heels.
It's better than those broads.
Ugh.
So she runs out. He just pins her against the outside of the house. He's like, no time to talk. I'm going to fuck you right here.
And she's like,
don't put the dog down. That's how fucking he was like, he's got to watch.
So this is interesting. We've never seen him sexually frustrated.
We've never seen him enjoy. Well, he did enjoy sex with Brenda, but
so okay. I forgot to keep track. Let's see. We had Mrs. Cthulhu, Mrs. Simpson. So that's two. The two daughters.
There's a half fuck with the daughters.
Okay.
He didn't really. We don't know what he did with them.
Do we want to assume they did anything afterwards?
I know I don't because it would gross me out. I was already grossed out.
So we'll give him 1.5 for that.
Okay, 1.5.
1.5 there, and then we had Brenda. So we're at 4.5, and now we're fucking Mrs. Phillips is who this is.
He's filling her up.
And she thinks that they're going to go back inside. No. Right on the goddamn porch.
Right for everybody to see.
Yeah. This is 76. People didn't hang out in the afternoons at home, right? There was no housewives, nothing like that.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And if there were housewives that looked out, they'd be like, oh, that's Mr. Jonathan.
That's good for business.
That's good for business. Like, that's the kind of service you just can't pay for today. Yeah.
So he just bangs her and we just cut away. We get that nice, like, negative style freeze.
Yeah, of her O-face.
And then fade away.
The dog looking confused.
Ruh-roh. So Jonathan, he goes back to the shop because we only have 3 sets at this entire movie. So he's got to go back to the shop.
Some driving around. Yep, you're right.
So Artie and Rich are so worried about him because these guys are really good friends.
Yeah.
And Artie's like, what's gotten into you? I've never seen you this way with a woman. You don't care. You pump them and dump them. What's going on? She's just another broad. He's like, no, she's not. She's special, Artie. And Artie's like, he caresses Mr. Johnson's face. Oh, you sweet, sweet man. You know what you need? You need to come to a Western style barbecue.
I don't know. Richard comes in. He's like, no. You need to go.
There's going to be gay and straight people at this. So don't worry. You'll fit in. I just want to be by my... No. I'm taking no for an answer. I won't take no for an answer.
There you go.
You're coming to our gay Wild West style barbecue or my dead body. He's like, all right, I'll come. I'll show up. I'll bring napkins.
He always brings napkins because he's got to clean up his DNA. Anyways,
crime.
Not from crime, just from plowing.
I said the perfect crime.
Oh, the perfect crime. Excuse me. So we cut over to, we're actually going to go back to Mr. Wilson's. We got Brenda skinny dipping.
We needed another scene of totally naked woman, so we got that.
We needed to get that scene in there.
She gets out of the pool naked. He grabs her cakes. While he's grabbing her cakes, she notices his Kinjitache case with all of his ledgers and all of... We don't know what it is. I don't think... She doesn't even know what it is. She just goes, that looks suspicious. I think I'm going to steal that.
Yeah, he's groping her. He's like taking the towel and toweling her off. Then he plants a fucking...
Once again, we just saw Mr. Jonathan fucking... Judd's watching this. Judd's like in the background watching him just grope this poor woman.
You know what? I called him schmuck. I should have called him cuck because I mean he's not affiliated
he was
with.
rubbing his crotch while
He's definitely into watching his boss get laid.
So she notices the ledger. She notices the combination on the Kinja case.
Yeah, and she like leans over.
1, 2, 3.
I said she was heaving because of the gross ass kiss, and she gets real close to that notebook, and she's noticing all those fucking stock tickers and all that shit in there, and she looks back up, and fucking Wilson's got a fresh one waiting for her, and just paintbrushes her a couple times.
Says, "Don't you look at my Kinja case? That's only for me."
Ooh. But she does look again.
Yeah.
Because he goes down to put the notebook back into the Kinjate case, and she notices his secret code.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Nobody would expect that. That's what he thinks.
Nobody.
So he's like, look, I got to give some motherfucking speech tonight because I don't know what I do for a living, for Christ's sakes. But I got to make a speech. I'm going to take you into town. You can just buy some nice dresses for yourself. Get all hot for me. Capiche? Yeah. You got it?
Either fucking way, keep it warm.
So, Griff, you ever been to a Western-style gay barbecue?
Murray, I have so many questions about this barbecue. This is fascinating. This looked like a John Waters scene.
It did have a John Waters vibe.
Because there's just random naked people. Half the guys there look like they're old, weird people. They just picked, like, they drove 100 miles and just picked up anybody on the side of the road. Like, no one seemed to fit in any way.
But that's why they fit, because they didn't fit.
I like that.
It's the island of it's a barbecue of misfit toys.
So you have some people just in no clothes, some people in overalls like they're farmers, because they're on like a farm.
They're on a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
This is part of the Western barbecue theme. You got to be on a farm.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they had one woman who was dressed as a ballerina.
Should be a ranch, by the way, not a farm.
Okay.
And if Amir Shervan was doing it, it would have been.
It would have been his ranch. Yeah. And then they have one woman dressed as a ballerina just dancing in the background everywhere. I wonder what she was on. And then they have like a new sassy gay character in like a full suit.
Yeah, kind of a John Waters type character.
Yeah, and he showed up with what I thought was a man in drag, but it might have been a woman. I couldn't tell.
Guess as good as mine. Not only that, we see a new woman with a very tight T-shirt that says Mr. Jonathan on it.
Mr. Jonathan on it, yeah.
She really wants to be. She heard there's a slot open for that secretary job. Brenda, like 3 days, and she's gone. And she's like, I can handle at least 3 days. So she's like, Artie, can you get me that job? And she's like bouncing her tits.
Yeah, she's bouncing her tits. And even Artie's like, I recognize game. I can tell this woman's got something that the boss would like.
Yeah, he needs something.
So
he's worried. He wants Mr. Jonathan just forget about Brenda and just go on because he loves the life they all led before.
Yeah.
So he's just like, maybe this will snap him out. He'll just get some fresh pussy and then he's fine.
Yeah. See, this is making sense. Yeah. Artie's kind of his pimp. He's kind of like the gateway to get to Mr. Jonathan.
Oh yeah, he uses that too. He wields that power.
Yeah, this is interesting
because he hires her. He's not even like he doesn't own the business.
And she gives him a tight fucking hug, and he looks straight into the camera and says, "Oh, she's not gonna be drowning."
See, because her tits are big and they float.
Yeah,
the flotation devices. See, and then Mr. Jonathan, lo and behold, he just shows up. Dressed perfectly for a Western-style barbecue with a cowboy hat on.
Amazing. Blue jeans?
I think he had some skin-type blue jeans tucked into some boots.
Yeah, and then I remember he had an orange shirt that he had just 2 buttons up from the waist button, so you got a lot of chest, a lot of pec jelly.
And everybody, including John Waters, we'll call him John Waters, is like drooling over him. Because before, like John Waters like, when's Mr. Jonathan getting here? He's like, look, honey, he's not gay. Well, I'll turn him.
Yeah. Is it really 4 inches from the ground? He's just prodding Artie with questions, and clearly Artie and this man have some history. Like
they're rivals.
Artie does not like this. Oh, you know what? He probably has the salon on the other side of town.
Probably.
I think that's what it is.
And so Artie's like, look, I got you this new secretary. Wonderful. Totally dead-eyed. He's like, I brought the napkins, and now he's like, he's looking at his watch. I'm going to wait the 5 minutes, and then I'm out of here.
He goes over. Okay, John.
By the way, there's no food here. We just
No, there is food here. My problem.
It's not being cooked.
My problem is that Artie tells him, we got all the grills out. We got all the food going. Jonathan goes over to this Foods table.
It was
and
just a cotton candy machine. I don't know what was going on.
There's a cotton candy machine. That's like the only food being created here was the cotton
It
candy
was
machine.
Snoopy is cooking for everybody. It's jelly beans,
so-
toast, and cotton candy.
So weird. But Jonathan goes up, and there is a giant thing of fried chicken, and then
my
there's
God.
a bowl. He
Come on.
pulls a lemon out of it, and he's just like holding a lemon like he's going to eat it like an apple or something, and then he puts it back, and then he just walks away. That was all the food they had there. There's no cooking being done. It was all picked up from a party store.
so he's just like, look, Artie, I've been here for 5 minutes. Those are my napkins right there. Those are mine. I paid for them. I'm gonna go to my cabin. I gotta fucking. I'm just messed up about this broad. I gotta think.
Yeah.
Like, you do that, Mr. Jonathan. You do that.
You just get out of here. All right. So we're getting back over to Wilson, and he's getting ready for his big fucking speech, apparently, in town.
That fucking speech.
In the middle of the day. He's got a big speech in the middle of the day. Usually those are done at dinners,
Yeah,
but
whatever he's doing, we don't know.
he's got to be low down if he's doing it in the middle of the day. You know, that's the matinee speech. No one goes and sees the matinee speech.
Not even Brenda, because she's just gonna go shopping.
Yeah, they want to drop her off in town. They don't like her hanging around the house without him. So she's in the car waiting for him, and he realizes, I forgot my fucking key. So Mr. Wilson gets up, runs out of the car, and Brenda realizes this is my chance to go in that briefcase. And she's like, what was that number again? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
It was 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Pops open the briefcase, grabs a notebook, and just chucks it into a hedge.
The perfect crime.
And then she closes, locks it up.
As she finishes it, fucking Mr. Wilson comes out.
This is Ocean's 11 tight right
It
here.
was very heist-like.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's get the fuck out of here so I can make that fucking speech at fucking wherever I'm going to be.
I didn't know Mr. Wilson, like, ever since Brenda got back in his life, he's now way more irritable. He's throwing fuck words around more. Like, what is it?
Because he got cucked by he knows he could never live up to Mr. Jonathan. He was peckerjacking when Mr. Jonathan showed up.
Oh, you know what? That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, right. That safari gear. He was just like, I can't rock that safari gear, and he was okay. Jealousy makes the world go mad. Yeah. Anyways,
so she's like, did she say she's sick or something? Because she doesn't leave. She's like, I got to get out of here.
No, she gets into town, but she
right,
immediately hails a cab.
Okay, yeah,
and goes right back to the.
Because she wants to go get that ledger.
Yep. So,
but Mr. Bean's hanging out there, and Judd, and like, what the fuck are you doing back? You just left 10 minutes ago. She's like, well, I don't feel like shopping. Well, Mr. Wilson ain't gonna like that. Well, I don't care what the fuck Mr. Wilson likes. And she's like, while she's talking, she's trying to grab that fucking ledger out of the bush.
Yeah. But she gets away with it. She spoke with enough confidence that they're like, fine, whatever, fuck, I don't care.
And she's like, you know what? I am gonna go shopping, but this time by myself.
Yeah.
So she gets in another one of Wilson's cars.
They said it was her car.
Well, he gave it to her.
There we go.
And she drives to fucking the shop.
Of course, she goes straight to the salon. And she meets Artie there. He's just like, oh, what are you... Mr. Jonathan's been looking everywhere for you. Where did you go? Where did you disappear to?
But he's like, look, honey, I don't want you breaking his heart.
Yeah.
I care about Mr. Jonathan.
Yeah, you could tell that Artie wanted to help, but he was like, no, I know everyone's just after his dick. I'm looking for some. He's also looking out for him. He's like, I'm looking for someone who's after his heart.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's not sure, but then he can tell. He's like, you know what? I can tell you're the one.
Well, he puts her to the test. What does he like on his Vinny sandwich? That's odd. She's like, he likes the pickle spear to the left.
He likes a little peanut butter, like a dollop.
Just a dollop. Just a little dollop. How does peanut butter?
And then he's like, you know that, honey, you were made for him.
Yeah. And he turns to a portrait on the wall and points at it and goes, that's where he is.
I didn't see that.
No direction, nothing. I just points at the portrait. And we zoom in on the portrait and then we zoom out and he's there we are at his fucking cabin.
Well, he shows up first and we meet the caretaker, Freddie. And Freddie, for some reason, did he have moonshine? He just had a ladle of water. It's like, try this.
Dude, everything about this scene is amazing. Jonathan Mr. Jonathan had, the drive over must have been a little breezy, so he's thrown a sweater over his shoulders, tied it over.
It was a Gold's Gym sweatshirt.
He's got a new shirt on. He's no longer wearing that orange shirt. He's wearing a white and a like gold striped shirt. That's his cap. That's his
striped. It doesn't have to be striped.
Don't tell me how to say stripe it, all right? Okay. Wow. So he's got the orange and white and gold. You're fucking me up here, Marlboro man. So, yeah, he's showing up. He's looking to the nines for his cabin where he's planning to do hard labor. He's got no running water. He's got no electricity
he's
here.
Living off the land.
And, yeah, he's like wearing dress clothes for it. But, yeah.
He's always dressed nicely.
A safari gear would have been more fitting.
Would have.
Okay. Anyways, so yeah, he gets out of his car and there's Freddie, who looks great. He looks like he's Jimi Hendrix. He's just got the do-rag, or not do-rag, but like the headband on, and it just looks like a cool guy.
Well, he's the caretaker, obviously, of this shitty little cabin he has.
Yeah. I wanted to know more about Freddie. I really like Freddie in the 5 minutes we get with him.
I think it was moonshine. It might have been just well water. I don't know. He just had a ladle of water. Clear liquid.
Moonshine is the only thing that makes sense.
And he's like, try this.
And yeah, you're right. He gets out like a little sauce pot and holds it up to him.
And then, like, as always, because he always repeat himself, he goes, it's good. It's good. And then he's like, well, I'm going to go up to my cabin. And because I think I'm going blind right now from that shit you just gave me. And he's like, all right, well, I'll just be here if you need anything.
All right. So we have Brenda. She's arriving now, and of course, she meets Freddie as well.
Well, wait, is he? I have to. This is one of my pet peeves. He's cutting wood with. Okay, if you've ever used a chainsaw, you know how you don't. This is the way not to use the chainsaw. He's one-handing it. He has his other hand right next to where he's cutting, like holding the thing steady.
Yeah,
that's not how you use a chainsaw.
And here's the thing that we know about low-budget movies: you don't get to pay for stuntmen or anything. So he's doing this himself.
Right.
Yeah, this movie almost got cut short. A few fingers short.
Good one.
So
I'm just going to say, people, you do not cut with a chainsaw that way. You use both hands on the saw at all times.
And this scene is quite important. By the way, now he's wearing like pantaloons. He's taking his shirt off, and he's rolled up the sleeves on the pants.
They're called pant sleeves. They're called pants legs. Yeah.
He's rolled up the legs.
I thought he just tucked them in. I thought he tucked them in the boots.
No, I didn't even see him wearing boots. I thought he was barefooted.
Oh.
I think he's going like hardcore outdoorsman. Like,
he's like Huck Finn.
He's going total Ted Kaczynski here.
So he cuts that, and he's like, I got to relax. I got to go play some pool. You got a pool table in this little fucking shed.
I love the play with rooms in this movie because the salon is tiny, and then he goes into his office, which is fucking huge. And now
You're right, because the cabin is gigantic on the inside, and it's tiny on the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very Dungeons & Dragons.
Exactly. From the outside, you can see it. It's like tiny. Yeah, it's a little shack.
It's big enough that he has a fucking pool table.
It's so good. And room for 8 people to move around in later.
And I noticed he's doing it right. He's got a cigarette dangling out of his mouth.
Oh, he's following the laws of the Marlboro Man's shitty dad who left this shitty earth.
He knows the table.
He knows how much to spend. He's betting with himself. So
if you can't pay the debt, don't bet if you can't pay the debt.
Don't pay the bet if you can't debt.
He knows it. He's chalking that motherfucking queue up.
This would have been the perfect time for Branscombe to just be there playing pool with his lady friend. Oh, I would have loved that.
But he's playing by himself until Brenda shows up.
Yeah. And of course, he's just so fucking delighted to see her.
Of course he is. The love of his life.
He's in the cabin because of her.
He's feeling the love.
Yeah. This is in the rom-coms when they show up at the airport and they embrace at the gate or whatever. This
Can't
is
do that
moment.
Anymore. Thanks, 9/11.
Can't do that anymore.
But they're feeling the love. We cut away to the salon. Like I said, there's only 3 sets in this movie.
There's only 3 sets.
And Jonathan and Richard are working hard, or hardly working.
That's what I call a little guy. Because I hated him, I called him Marco.
Okay. Well, that fits.
Yeah.
So the goon squad's there. They're looking to intimidate our little boy, Artie. They're like, where's Mr. Jonathan at?
They have Wilson as well with them now.
Oh, okay. So he's pissed off. He's like, I know who stole my woman. It's Jonathan.
Yeah.
And where's my fucking ledger? I know that's missing.
Exactly. He's figured it all out.
I was going to read it at the fucking speech I was going to fucking give.
Yeah.
And now I had nothing to fucking say. My fucking ledger was fucking missing. And he's like, look, you don't need to be so blue with your language. And they're like, I'll show you blue. Bend him over.
Oh, man. And this is where we get...
Because Artie is like, I will not tell you anything.
Yeah. Rich tries to come in for the save. Margot kicks him straight across the face. Mr. Bean, our little white guy with the weird hat and the short tie. The tie that is a spaghetti string and it is 5 inches from his belt. He kicks Richard in the face. So Richard's down on the ground. He's bleeding
Spitting
from
out
his
blood.
mouth. Yeah, it's hard. It's awful. They bend over poor Artie. They got him just pressed over a chair.
Wilson's like, give me that. Picks
Oh.
up a hot curling iron.
And
we
we
know
are-
it's hot because he's like spitting on it.
Yeah. And he uses that colorful language a little bit more, and we won't use those words, but he's just like, I'm going to give you the ride of your life.
Artie's like, do your worst because I'm not giving up Mr. Jonathan. And he's like, well, you're giving your ass up. Oh, and just shoves a fucking hot curling iron up Artie's ass.
Oh,
That's friendship, dude.
Gee.
I would never take a hot curling iron, but that's for you. So I'll let you know that.
I mean, Wilson does arrive at the cabin.
Well, come on. That's still after having it done. You're pretty fucked up. You know.
Yeah.
I know. God, you imagine like that? Somebody really did that? Would be the worst.
I don't want to imagine it. I closed my eyes for that scene, and the
ASMR on that was really
Artie
rough.
ASMR. No, Artie selling that was
Your torture be
oh,
my torture.
God damn it. Oh. I'm gonna rip my earballs out. Fuck.
That's a sound of a ass being cauterized by.
I don't know. Maybe Artie couldn't speak anymore. He just pointed at the portrait or something.
And they're like, I know that place.
Yeah, everybody knows this place. maybe there was a little plaque on there just with the address in it or something. Anyways, so whew. We got
So Brenda is like, she gives Jonathan the ledger. She has no idea what it is. She's like, I think we could do something with this.
Oh yeah, they have obviously fucked at this point.
They felt the love.
Very passionate fuck. They have fucked so hard that he's just like, that was the best time. I haven't fucked like that in like 20 years. It's the first
I thought you were
time.
gonna say 2 days.
Well, no, because he never cared about those.
Oh,
That was the first time he felt
Not
it.
even the dog?
Yeah, not the dog.
Well, I'm not saying he fucked the dog. I'm just saying he didn't care about that dog while he was fucking that woman.
I don't think he gave a shit about that dog, Murray. I don't know.
It's a cute dog.
He was working on some frustrations on that lady. But they have fucked, and yes, she has revealed the notebook. And John, he's just like, you know what? We're going to stick it to these hedge fund motherfuckers.
Yeah, because she's just like, we can just use this as blackmail. So they'll leave us alone. He's like,
Yeah.
no, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
I want him to get raped in jail.
I want to slam dunk this motherfucker. Got to take it straight to the IRS. And that's just as they're figuring all that out. And as I was painting the picture, he has told Brenda, do not even bother putting like pants and underwear and all that back on. Just like drape a weird shirt over.
Yeah, it was like his shirt. This is where I felt really bad for this actress because she's literally for the next 15 minutes running in the woods with just a fucking shirt on.
Yes.
No shoes. No clothing. Just a fucking oversized men's shirt, button-down shirt.
And the last few scenes we're going to be getting into in a moment here, it's 10 minutes of just running around in the woods with like a brief moment of action. So, oh boy.
So Wilson and the crew show up. Freddie greets them. They run over him.
Oh, they did?
Yes, they ran over him. You think Freddie's dead.
I just
Freddie's
remember Wilson
dead.
lowering his glasses, and he was just like, hey, friend, I'm a friend to black folk like you, and I was just curious if any other black folk were up in these hills. And yeah, Freddie knows a rat when he sees one.
Well, that's why they ran him over,
So
because
they
they
ran him
spot
over.
the two. I
That's
guess
right, they were just walking by.
Right.
They were just walking
And so they
by.
run over Freddie.
Oh, that was classic. They're just walking right there.
So Freddie gets run over, and then they give chase.
Yeah, they just get out of the car and start fucking running after him. We run through the woods.
So, like, I want to point out, Mr. Jonathan, fully clothed, boots, everything. Woman, bare-ass naked, just a button-down shirt on. And it's barely even on. It's like 2 buttons are on it.
Yeah, exactly. So we see, like, tits,
Everything.
popping out.
Flopping. Occasionally he throws her over his shoulder and carries
and then
her.
they were like, make sure the camera guy's right here so they can get the shot of her butt. Yep. There's a lot of those shots.
And there's like you said, there's just like 10 minutes of running.
Yep. And then John finds like a nice clearing, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna hide you," or brush, and he's like, "I'm gonna hide you here."
He grabbed his chainsaw as they were running off.
Yeah. So he hides her in this brush, and then he's like, I got to get out of here and fight. So John sneaks up.
Take it to him. The best offense or best defense, the best something.
They say best defense is a good offense.
That's what it, yeah.
Yeah. So John is like lurking through these woods, and clearly he knows these woods because he comes up here once every other year when he needs to clear his head from a pussy fog.
And play some pool.
Play some pool too. Yeah.
Work on his game.
He's got to go to that Eagles Nest next year, and he wants to be ready.
I hear they have a great pool tournament there every year.
Exactly. $500. Pay your debt.
And you can fuck Branscone's woman. Only for a night.
That's right. So here we have Questlove and Mr. Bean, a.k.a. Marco. And they're just hanging out, just kind of walking down this gulch-looking area.
Once again, chainsaw etiquette. No, you can't just lightly pull the string and then it starts up.
Because he's trying to do it quietly, so he's shushing the chainsaw and just gently pulling it. And at this time, it's making no noise. But later on, it's and he gets caught because of it. But
I will give him points, though. That chainsaw has a chain on it. Usually, you don't have a chain on it because you don't want to cut anybody. Loose as fuck. It's hanging off.
Yeah.
But yes, and he cuts up Marco and Questlove.
Yeah, he goes at Questlove first, and he fucking jabs him in the neck with the chainsaw. Beautiful
Geyser
chainsaw
of blood
etiquette.
out.
I loved it. And then he goes over to little little Marco, and he fucking just takes his hip apart. And oh god damn, that was gruesome.
And it's just as he's admiring his kills, Wilson shows up and shoots him right in the abdomen.
Yeah, this was gnarly too. The blood work they did here was fantastic. But John manages to get away, and he goes back up to where he hit Brenda, grabs her, and he's like, "Come on, you got to run again." And poor woman in her bare feet. This poor. She had Mr. Wilson's fingers straight up her like a bowling ball before, and now she's running in the woods without shoes on.
Things people do to get in a movie.
$50,000 budget.
So she probably got $200.
This poor woman.
But hey, she's in a movie that we're watching 45 years later. So hey, I think she won.
Okay.
And still, yeah, they just run again.
This is what creeped me out about them running too, because just shots of them going up hills and shit. But the audio they use for him and her is sex audio. They're moaning like they're fucking. Oh, Mr. Jonathan. I was like,
it's so big.
That's Mrs. Simpson from the beginning of the movie. You can't fool me, movie. I noticed.
Hey, $50,000 budget. Come on.
Exactly.
Slack.
First time working on audio. I get it.
He's like, look, we can't run forever. I'm gonna go back and just take out Judd.
Yeah. So he dumps her off in another brush, and he jumps down, and this is again he gets the beat on Mr. Wilson. Or no, this is after Schmuck or Maddox. So
he just throws the chainsaw at Maddox
because he's trying to get it started. He's behind Maddox.
Now it won't start. He can literally just pull it 2 inches and it just starts right off.
And it's loud as fuck. This is what I was alluding to earlier. It was like, blah, 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 blah. And so I was like, please tell me this character doesn't hear that. But no, Maddox hears it, turns around, and so yeah, he has to fucking throw the chainsaw at him, and then they have
this is where he gets shot. He didn't get shot early. He gets shot by Maddox.
Yeah.
But that's not enough to stop Mr. Jonathan. He tackles him.
Yeah, he takes 3 shots to the gut, abdomen, side area. Yeah, he took 3. But yeah, just tackles him, and they start struggling on the ground. And they're fighting over the chainsaw that is not running. They're just going to poke each other with it.
You're going to just saw him with the chainsaw.
Wouldn't it move, though? Couldn't you? It wouldn't stay stationary if you're...
I think, technically you could kill somebody that way. I mean, you'd have to really grind on them, but yeah. You could cut a throat with it. I've done it before.
Oh.
And so,
okay.
Hey, nobody heard that. So, he's just about to cut the jugular, and Ben Wilson comes out. He found Brenda, and he's got a gun to her. He's like...
They were struggling for a moment, actually, and it comes down to, the gun gets thrown because Brendan, knocked it out of his hands or something, so they're struggling to get to the gun. Ultimately, Wilson gets to it, then he gets him up, and he's like, all right, guys, enough's enough. let's go back to that cabin. Get me your notebook.
Got to find that ledger. And so they go back to the cabin, and as they walk up, we see the ledgers hidden right out in the open, right under the stairs that go up to the.
Yeah.
You can clearly see it, but they couldn't. And they go in.
I like this because they're trying to torture Mr. Jonathan. And so they're punching him in that gun wound, and like they got the blood gushing out of it. It was good. It was good little detail. I liked it.
Like Artie, everybody who works at Mr. Jonathan's can take a beating because he's just like, fuck you. I'm not telling you anything. He's like, oh, really? Well, how about if we beat it out of your squeeze?
Oh, no.
Bend her over, Judd.
And yeah, he starts
bend her over to the pool table.
Get into those buns with that pool cue. And I know Steven Seagal was watching this somewhere just crying like that's not how you use a pool cue.
Well, he'd break it in half.
Exactly.
Bap it twice.
That's what he wanted.
But
to
it's
do.
enough to fucking fuck. I mean, this woman's running through the woods naked, so she's beat up. She's scratched up.
Oh, yeah.
So it's working on her. She's like, oh.
And
harder.
you see Mr. Jonathan, he's starting to crack a little bit. He's losing his voice. For the first time, he gets to speak, and he's starting to lose his voice already.
And just as he's about to say where the ledger is, you can't see the woman he loves get beaten. We're all of a sudden in this Friday the 13th. I don't know what happened. Tonal like shift of this movie.
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger, maybe?
Yeah.
Freddy shows up with an axe, a hatchet.
A little hatchet.
Stabs fucking Judd in the fucking throat or like the chest with it.
So beautiful how they shot
They're actually
this.
playing scary like Friday the 13th music.
Yeah. You just had Schmuck against like the back wall, and he's just watching Brenda get her buns beat in, and suddenly the door flies open. He looks over, and suddenly he's got a hatchet. It was like right in his shoulder, clavicle area there. Oh,
enough to kill him.
Oh, it was brutal. And that Mr. Jonathan knows his opportunities,
right?
So he fucking grabs the pool cue. Oh boy,
chalks it up first. You got to chalk it.
Well, of course. My dad told me before he left.
While there's a cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
Yes,
and just impales Mr. Wilson on a fucking cue stick.
That was amazing. That was amazing. I wrote that whole last little bit in caps because when this scene happened. That I popped. I flew up. This is the best ending I've seen in a while. I love this ending so much.
And then Brenda and Mr. Jonathan embrace, and we get that nice freeze, negative kind of filter. Immediate, go straight to fucking credits. I'm like, all right, we got our hour 25. That's all we needed.
Yeah. And even that, again, they stretched to get there. But, hey, it was a good journey. I like the characters. We got to see a lot of boobs in this movie.
A lot of bush in this movie.
A lot of bush.
Probably haven't seen in a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. It's a good start to Exploitation History Month.
I like this start. Very true.
So next week, Griff, if you've listened to us, we have a lot of love and respect for Dr. Pam Grier. But I think this year we need to showcase some more like different female actors. So next week we're gonna do. All 6'2" of her, Tamara Dobson, or as you know her better, Cleopatra Jones.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jade Cargill.
No, Tamara can actually act.
Okay.
So we'll see you next week for Cleopatra Jones.